Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, what a wild season, right? Season is officially over. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder being the NBA champions and having a historic season, like literally. SGA winning Finals MVP as well as the regular season MVP, joins an elite list of players that have accomplished that. And again, it was a great series. Unfortunately, the Tyrese Halliburton one just it hurts. Not one of those people that believe in asterisks, right? Look, it's not OKC's job. Their job is to show up, play who's in front of them, and win those games. But you hate to see it. And there's got to be a big part of you that's like, what does that game look like if Hallie doesn't get hurt? Right? You got to imagine that series that this game is a lot closer, a lot better, and that the Indiana Pacers have a very good chance of winning that game. Again, it's very possible that they could have lost, could have happened, but I also think that there is a very good chance that they would have won that game. But obviously can't go back in time. Going to be very interesting to see kind of how the Eastern Conference shapes up next year, because now you're not going to have Boston, nor, in my opinion, Indiana, right, given the circumstances. But again, congratulations to OKC. Fun series, right? It was that's all I wanted, right? As fans of the Lakers, like, we don't have a dog in the fight. It's just, can we just get a good series? And I thought that this was a great series. I really did. I thought, it had a couple just fun moments, fun games. It was a fun experience. This is what you wanted, and a team that had never won ended up winning. But beyond that, right, like I said, you got the offseason. You've already had two big trades happen. And we just are officially getting in the offseason, right? You had the Desmond Bane trade, which is, if we're being honest, looks even better than before, right? Because the East is even more wide open. So now you have that. And then Kevin Durant gets traded to the Houston Rockets, which, if you're a team in the West, which the Lakers are, there's got to be this sense of like, hey, we need to make some moves, right? You got to do something. You got to be able to compete. Houston was the number 2 seed last year and now has Kevin Durant. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't know how much Kevin Durant raises the ceiling for Houston, right? He definitely makes them better, but does he make them good enough to really compete and contend for a championship, right? Like, he still is going to have to be the primary scoring option. They're going to have to heavily rely on him, right? If he has a bad scoring night, they're going to have the same problems that they have. Yes, they'll be more consistent. Yes, they'll be more clutch down the stretch. Yes, they kind of have the complementary pieces. Houston, I think, is going to make another trade. I think that they almost have to make another trade. Right, get another kind of go-to consistent scorer and option, just something that's kind of a thought. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. And if the if the Lakers do any moves or make any moves that to help them compete, right? It's something that you want to see them be able to do. But we'll see what other moves end up happening. Obviously, Lakers need to get a center. I mean, they need a lot of things. We'll see how that kind of plays out, how that kind of goes. What kind of moves do they make? Do they make things on draft day? Is it something that's, later into the official off season? But now it's go time, right? Now it's, hey, let's start making a move, start getting things done. I definitely think the Houston trade impacts the Lakers as well as, the entire Western Conference. Because again, the Lakers are a team in the West. Lakers are a team that, has to compete and go through Houston potentially. And so Lakers are going to need to make those moves in order to put you in that position. But I'm excited for the offseason. I'm excited to see what moves happen generally as just like a basketball fan, right? Of course, I want to see, this in the trade deadline. It's Christmas for us, right? Because it's like there's all these moves, there's all these things happening, all this excitement. So I'm excited for that. And then, of course, what moves do the Lakers make? What kind of trades and stuff do we get to see them do? But in general, I'm excited for it. But let's get into the super chats, regular chat, all that stuff. Probably only going to go about 30, 40 minutes. I was doing another live stream over on the sports channel. Wanted to come and do a little live stream here because, like I said, we're officially in the off season. So Probably won't go the usual hour and a half like I usually do, just because I've already been streaming for 40 minutes. So, but let's get into it. So, King Swag, W, appreciate you. Arthur, TJ McConnell is a 6-man of the year candidate, calling it now. I mean, dude, the way he performed, I mean, there was a genuine argument that he could have gotten like finals MVP if they would have. I mean, he was so impactful, important for that team. It was ridiculous. Hallie going down with the Achilles in the first is crazy. Yeah, especially because he was so aggressive, right? I mean, he was 3 of 4 from 3, right? He looked like he was a guy that was ready to make a statement, right? He looked like a guy that was ready to make some noise, and I was excited for that. Unfortunately, you hate to see it. You really do. It's so unfortunate, right? Hey, Tyler, I am very confident that our team will stay the course and make the right decisions this offseason. Yes, agreed. I'm right there with you. I'm, they know what they need to do. They know the moves that need to be made, right? It's not some, it's not some crazy like, man, no, like if we see it, they see it. So I trust that they're going to be able to figure it out and get it done, right? It's just, will they be able to get everything done? And to what level are we talking about the tier of guys, right? Because, that's the big thing too, right? Like there's a big difference between, a Walker Kessler and a, whatever, a Clint Capella, right? Like, so things like that, I think will go a long way. A fun one. Yes, absolutely. What's going on, Brian? Laker show, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Where will Giannis go now? I mean, if I'm Giannis and I'm leaving, I'm going to Houston, right? Like, if I'm being honest, right? Like, Houston, I'd have Kevin Durant as me and Kevin Durant, right? On top of having Kevin Durant, they could go and trade for me, satisfy, and put the Milwaukee Bucks in a great position for the future, which I'm sure if you're honest, you want to make sure that they're, in a good place. Do right by me, I'll do right by you type of thing. And he gets to now go and immediately contend alongside him and Kevin Durant and whatever else they have left. But on top of satisfying what they need to go get a Giannis, they'd also be able to have enough to still compete, right? They'd still have enough to be one of the best teams in basketball. Not many teams can do that. Do you think we have a better chance of winning a championship next season since the East got weaker? No, because you have to get through the West, right? Like, yes, there's a good argument to be made that whoever makes it out of the West next year probably wins the championship, but you still got to get through the West. And the West, I mean, the West is where the tough, hard fought type of thing is, right? The West is where it gets brutal. So, no, at least as of right now. Again, see what the Lakers do this offseason, what kind of trades, what kind of moves, stuff like that happens, depending on how that plays out. Obviously could change kind of the perspective. The Rockets need a score and got the greatest score ever. This is a simple win for the Rockets. This is definitely a huge pickup by the Rockets, right? Like, I don't want to undersell it for the Rockets. I just don't know, again, how much this elevates the Rockets, right? Is this enough to elevate them to true contention status? They do need a point guard. I'm not going to lie, and I might actually make a video about this, breaking it down. If you're the Lakers, do you call Houston about Austin Reeves? Because they could use another scorer and they could use a better playmaker than Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet's kind of better as that initiator. He's like a better Gabe Vincent, right? If you're the Lakers, because they didn't trade anything, they still have all the picks, they still have everything, right? Do you go to Houston and be like, try to get hey, you guys are trying to win, right? Like, could use Austin Reeves. Could you do something? Could you maybe get Jabari Smith and a Cam Whitmore, right? That way they can still keep Eason and some of these other guys. Can you maybe get something like that? Maybe get a pick in the. I don't know if they'd give up Whitmore and Jabari Smith and throw in picks, but maybe you could do something like that, or maybe get a Jabari and picks, right? And then use those picks to now go trade for a center. Just kind of a thought, right? Just kind of a thought. The Lakers now need trades. Yes, 100%. Make them now, right this second. I love it. I love it. Depending on what Houston does, yeah, I don't know about them. Durant, as your best player, has shown I won't go very far in the playoffs, or you miss the playoffs entirely, which Houston, I don't think will. Yeah, but a couple things, right? The Nets, one, were kind of a product of their own players, right? The Kevin Durant's a toe on the line from maybe winning an NBA championship, right? With the Brooklyn Nets, and then history is rewritten. And he was their best player, and that was with the hurt James Harden, and Kyrie was out, right? So that's some context keep in mind. Two, with Phoenix, that was just in my opinion, new owner syndrome. Right? Like they might have already won a championship had they just stayed the course. But you got a new owner that had to get the names on the back of the jerseys, and it ruined everything. Right? Like I don't know if this makes Houston a bona fide contender, but they're definitely better. LeBron's not leaving LA. Yeah, of course, I don't see that happening. I like Lauri Markkanen in the Lakers. Problem is like what you'd have to give up. And two, I hate his contract. And you'd have to play LeBron at the 3, which I don't really like either. If he was making like 30 million, I'd be like, sure. But now you're paying a guy who's probably best as your third option 40 plus million a year, and he's just starting that contract. Can't wait. Likewise, I'm right there with you. What trade do you think the Lakers are doing? Definitely going to get a center. I still kind of stand by the Nets trade. I think the Nets, they probably work something out for Nick Claxton. I wouldn't be shocked if even on like draft day, you end up getting news that they ended up trading for Nick Claxton. Go sign Malcolm Brogdon on a vet minimum. I wouldn't mind it. If you can get him on a vet minimum, I wouldn't mind it. Obviously there's the injury concerns, but if you can get Malcolm Brogdon, for sure. Is PG going to Utah? There's a lot of talks about it potentially, but reports came out. Who was it? Mark Stein? Yeah, it was Mark Stein. Mark Stein reported that that they tried to trade, didn't work, and so they're just going to run it back. That they think with the East wide open. And honestly, now with the Halliburton injury, if you're the Sixers, I think you have to run it back, right? Like, if you can get healthy, you might be able to be in the NBA Finals, right? Like, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, plus the overall depth and talent, and they have the number 3 pick and all that stuff. I mean, they're one of, if not the best teams in the East. Problem is they just can't stay healthy, right? They're just so unreliable. And that's the problem. John Collins can be for us what Aaron Gordon has been for Denver. Decent 3-pointer, elite defense, high flyer, hustling, athleticism, solid 4th option if you keep it. Yes. I actually made a video about that very thing on the Lakers show channel. I really do think that he could be that kind of guy. Do you think Lakers should get Dylan Brooks for Rui? I actually have that, not necessarily for Rui, but just trading for Dylan Brooks. I actually have that on my list of videos I want to make. I don't hate it. I mean, look, obviously LeBron, people are going to bring up the LeBron and Dylan Brooks thing. LeBron doesn't care. He played with Lance Stevenson, right? Like at the end of the day, Dylan Brooks is exactly the kind of player the Lakers need, right? Gives you toughness, perimeter defense, 3-and-D, and he's a very good player. He is. Like, all the antics and stuff like that, I'm not a big fan of, but there's no doubting he's a very good player. He's a guy that I do think would really help this Lakers team and solve a big need. Would you rather have Clint Capella or Brook Lopez? Just like neutral, Clint Capella. However, I think it depends on the starting center that you get, right? So, like, if they get a Nick Claxton, I'd rather get a Brook Lopez. Why? Because I want different looks at center, right? If you get a Nick Claxton and then a Clint Capella, they're essentially the same like skill set of center, right? Where Brook Lopez, I think, gives you a different look. And Brook Lopez is a better LeBron type of center, right? So, however, if you were to get, say, a Mark Williams, for example, I'd rather have a Clint Capella, right? So if we get as a starting center a more skilled big, I'd prefer a more Clint Capella, big physical floor runner, lob threat center. If we get a kind of floor running lob threat center, I'd prefer more of the skill center in Brook Lopez. I noticed some changes with the stream. We making moves tight? No, it's just StreamYard upgrading. That's all it is. It's not. I wish I was there where we were making big moves yet. Not there yet. Slowly building. Eventually, one day. But no, it's just StreamYard's just upgrading their system and program, and I pay for the top version because I stream so much. That's all it is. So pay for the year or whatever. I want Cam Whitmore. I do too. I really do. Like, I think Cam Whitmore is the exact type of player the Lakers need. And I just think they have too many guys that phase out Cam Whitmore. Like, Lakers don't have anybody like Cam Whitmore. No brainer, Clint Capella over Brook Lopez. Yeah, I think just generally speaking, yes. Yo, Ty, thoughts on this trade? Claxton and number 37 Pistons. Pistons. Sorry, I didn't see the Pistons part. I thought that was the Pistons. Sorry, it threw me off. Cameron Johnson, Hachimura, 36 Nets and 55 Lakers. Brooklyn Harris, Zanko, Kleba, first pick 2026 and 2028 Pistons. First pick swap 2030 Lakers. So Pistons are essentially trading 2 firsts for Cam Johnson, Rui Hachimura. I don't know if they'd give up 2 firsts. Maybe a first. I could see them going like, maybe like the 26, 20 or 28 pick. Maybe see something like that. I mean, look, if the Lakers could land a pick plus Claxton, but honestly, if you're the Lakers, why not just trade for Claxton in the 36th pick, right? Like, why make it a third team if you don't have to? Because you could just trade for Claxton in the 36th pick straight up and probably give up less. It's kind of a thought, but yeah, I mean, point is, if you could do something like that, sure. I'll go get common cheap if you can. Yes, if there's a way to make that happen, yeah, I think you have to. Would you take Alvarado or Scottie Pippen Jr. as a backup point guard? I wouldn't mind Alvarado. Scottie Pippen Jr., I'm still like, I think he's just kind of a product of circumstance. Alvarado, I wouldn't hate as just kind of like that. But honestly, personally, like, if it's like between the two, then yes, Alvarado. But if it's like generally, I'd probably prefer. There's probably several other guys. Even somebody mentioned Malcolm Brogdon on like, I'd rather have him than those guys. I feel like we should trade Austin for Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody and trade Rui for like Jared. If you could pull something like that off, I would do that. It'd be hard to, if you get Kuminga and Moody, I would do that. If you get both of those guys, I would do that. Congrats, OKC. Caruso, yes. What's going on, Daniel? Also, LA to acquire Gary Trent Jr., elite 3-point shooting, good defender, consistent, can be an X factor at any given moment, and he's extremely below market value. I am right there with you. If you can pull him off, go get it. Who we getting? I hope a lot. Right? I think Lakers need about 4 or 5 guys. I think you need 2 clear-cut centers and then at least 2 kind of perimeter guys. So I'm hoping that you pull something like that off. What do you think the Suns should do to fix their roster? Trade Devin Booker. It's the only way you're going to be able to do it. Because again, I have been more right about the Phoenix Suns than probably any team, any situation ever. Like, it's been like terrifying. It's almost like I had a crystal ball. I've been so accurate on Phoenix. And I even said, like, they're not going to get the return for Kevin Durant that's going to solve the issue. And they didn't. They didn't get the return for Kevin Durant that solves the issue. The only way out is to trade Devin Booker. But the problem is they're not going to trade Devin Booker. And they're better off trading Devin Booker right now while he's not forcing his way out, because you'll probably get more. Once he starts going like, hey, get me out of here, things start to change a little bit. So LeBron is too old. I disagree. I mean, the guy was still a top 10 player last year. Any ready now centers in this year's draft, Tyler? I mean, you got like Wolf appears to be ready now. All the kind of ready now centers all kind of have their flaws. A lot of them are not like great defensively. They're just like good offensive players and whatnot. If you can get Common Malic, kind of be hard to say no to that. I think here's the thing. If you can, even in the second round, if you can get a center that can defend at the rim and just run the floor, that guy's probably going to be really good for the Lakers regardless, because Luka's going to make him good, right? Like, if you were to get, even like Amari Williams, he's probably like a double-double guy on the Lakers, just because all he has to do, like, hey, just hit your spots that we tell you to hit and always be ready. And that guy will probably average, 10 to 12 points a game. And then at that point, it's just, can you rebound and block shots? So if you can get a guy that can do that, you're in good shape. Kevin, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I am not high on Malic. He reminds me a lot of some to beat. Big, athletic, plays basketball late, not really skilled. He has the intangibles you want for the Lakers. He is, don't get me wrong, a development guy, right? He's a guy that you're definitely going to need a little patience and work with. However, the fact that he has been so good with such little time, who else kind of just picked up basketball when he was like 15 was like Joel Embiid, right? Or whatever it was, like 12 or whatever, right? Like, sometimes guys are just naturally gifted. Sometimes guys just have that, right? And he is everything. He's more coordinated than some to be, right? Like, he's better, right? Like, I'm not worried about him being good. It's just to what level, right? Is he? A lot of people look at him as like he's going to be a franchise center. Like, he's going to be the guy that is like the foundation of your defense and organization. I don't know if he'll necessarily be that. I think he'll be really good because he's a Luka type of center. So I think Luka's going to make him look really good, right? But I don't think I don't know if he's a gamble for sure. There's a risk to him, but there's a risk to every center or every player in an NBA draft, right? There have been guys that people thought were surefire. I mean, look at like Josh Jackson and guys like that like people swore was going to be the next great superstar. I mean, look at guys like, even guys that were drafted at great seasons, right? Tyreek Evans averaged 25-5 as a rookie, right? Michael Carter-Williams averaged nearly a triple-double, and people swore he was going to be the next great point guard. He was out of the league by his next contract, right? Like, it's always a gamble. It's just, if you have the right patience, he has the right tools. He has all the things that you need. So it's just, can you find a way to get him? And it's also, what's the cost? I'm not selling the farm to go get him. I'm not selling the farm to go get him. But if you can get him on a reasonable contract, reasonable trade, then sure. If you turn Dalton Connect and whatever, your second round pick or something like that to go get him, then sure. But if it's something where you have to give up like multiple firsts and all that stuff, like even the Nets trade, or that proposed trade, which was like the 2031 first plus Connect plus, I don't know if I'd do all that. Like, yes, it's like the whole argument was like you're giving up less than you did for Mark Williams. And yes, I get that. But Mark Williams is proven. He's already a 20-10 guy without Luka, right? So, like, yeah, I'm more willing to give up that. Where him, it's like, again, you're taking a risk. And he's probably not going to be able to be your starting center out the gate. So it's just things like that you got to keep in mind. But Kevin, really appreciate Super Chat. Thank you so much. Honestly, I don't see the hate with Claxton, an extremely versatile, quick-footed center who can catch lobs and block shots. Basically, Walk Kessler without the rebounding and better defense. Yeah. So look, as far as defense goes, he's probably the best option that the Lakers can get. Right, as far as like the versatility and switchability and what you need to kind of mask out there on the basketball court, especially the type of defense JJ runs, even more so than Walker Kessler. And I'm higher on like Walker Kessler is my idea. Like that's who I want, right? But with the type of defense that JJ likes to run, type of skill set that Nick Claxton has, he is exactly what this Lakers team needs. Right? Talking about a defender that can, talking about a guy that can protect the rim and also defend in space, switch out to guards, really, I mean, genuinely defend 1 through 5. And he's going to be a double guy because he's going to be playing alongside Luka, who's going to make him look great. Right? Big problem with Claxton is just, he's just so light. Right? If he was like 240, I think everyone would be like, I think the consensus would be like, go get Claxton. But it's because he's 215, right? It's like, you still, if you get him, you still need a big body center, more likely than not. So, Lakers should trade Austin Reeves. I'm not against it. Obviously, again, you don't just trade Austin Reeves just to trade Austin Reeves. It's got to make sense. But if you can trade Austin Reeves for the right package, then yeah, absolutely. No one is untradeable. Need to go after Giannis or Jokic first. I doubt that. I just don't think the Lakers have the assets in order to do that. But yeah, this is actually that Jokic more possible after LeBron leaves. I mean, look, Jokic could go into free agency and just go sign with the Lakers when LeBron leaves. And him and Luka are besties. Nas and Kessler. I'd love Nas Reed, but as your starting center for a team that lacks interior size, no. I think Nas Reed, if he's your starting 4, yes, but as your starting center, no. Kessler, absolutely. If you get Nas Reed and have him on the bench, or if we didn't have LeBron, then yeah, sure. New management's going to clean house in a year or two, probably be a couple of years. He's going to let things kind of play out. So this thing, Marcus Smart, I don't hate Marcus Smart. One, I think his contract is, if I'm not mistaken, still a little ridiculous. Let me look that up real quick, just so I don't say something that's wrong and inaccurate. But if I'm not mistaken, I think his contract is a little, but he might be in his final year now, so it might not be as bad as I think. But even if you were to trade for him, my problem with Marcus Smart is he is what you need, like point of attack defense, hard nose, add some toughness, all of that stuff. I get that 100%. My issue, yeah, so he is on the final year. He's making $21.5 million. Okay. Yeah, but that's the thing, he's $21 million. But he is on his final year. So that is beneficial. But my problem with Marcus Smart is his decision making is terrible at times. I mean, he'll shoot you out of a game. There's times where you watch him and he thinks he's Steph. It's why the Celtics were so willing to trade him when he was literally the longest tenure guy and their locker room guy. Like he was Mr. Boston, and they were like, yeah, we need to get rid of him, and then immediately won a championship because his decision making. And I love Marcus Smart. I actually, back in his draft, I wanted them to draft Marcus Smart. I wanted the Lakers to get Marcus Smart, and then Boston took him right before Lakers did, and the Lakers ended up taking Julius Randle. But I really wanted Marcus Smart out of what was it? Oklahoma? Was it Oklahoma State? So yeah, I've been a big fan of Marcus Smart his whole career. His problem is his just decision making is awful. What the F was that noise? I don't know. It sounded like dude was about to get bombed. I don't know. Probably one of the dogs. They're laying here. They're moving around. And where I'm at, there's not carpet in the room. It's all hardwood. So they step and it's just they even will wake me up at night because they're moving around. And it's just you just hear the tapping. I'm just oh, can't wait to get into the new place. Hopefully the rooms have carpet. Tyler, Lakers offseason doesn't start until this Thursday when they're on the clock with their 1 draft pick. Lakers offseason doesn't start until then. I disagree. You're in the house. Trades can happen. Lakers can make trades before that. If the Lakers don't do anything, then yeah, technically it would be when they make that move. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers end up making a trade on draft day or right before, or you get the announcement, but it actually doesn't happen until then. Right? Even the Suns trade might be expanded because it can't be finalized till July 6th. And they're potentially trading Jalen Green as well as Dylan Brooks. So I want Duke center coming, but don't see it happening and not expecting it to happen. Would you be shocked if Lakers trade up in the draft to go get him? Would I be shocked? No, because I think he'll definitely be a top 10 pick. But again, I think there's a lot of hype with him, but I think also teams understand the circumstance there with him. It also depends on where he falls and what team. Right? You get one of these teams that have multiple centers. It's like we don't really like what we're going to draft another center. Let's go get Dalton Connect and another pick, right? Something like that. So it's fireworks. Oh yeah, they're always like lighting like fireworks over. I don't know why. Like I'm in a really good place. Like so it's not like that, but yeah, like you hear fireworks all the time. Like they like light fireworks for like everything here. Literally. Like on Father's Day, they were like setting off a bunch of fireworks. And I was like, why are they lighting fireworks? And everyone was like, oh, they do it for Father's Day. And I was like, what? Never heard that, but okay, cool. Thanks. Booker to New York. Hope Beal retires. I don't think I wouldn't be. Look, we talked about this on the other stream. Fireworks in this heat is crazy. Well, I mean, 4th of July is pretty hot, and they do that. But anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted by the other comment. I wouldn't hate if he gets bought out. I wouldn't hate if the Lakers signed him to the bench, or if you ended up trading Austin Reeves and have him slot in at the 2. I mean, I think he's just a product of circumstance, genuinely. I think we should Triple J. That's who I'd love to go get. Assuming Pelinka can't get any major moves done, new ownership can get the best GM and spend the sweet cap space. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what he does. Right? I mean, this is going to be his time to shine. I really hope it can happen, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen. I want Kessler and Collins so bad. I'm right there with you. If we had those two, we could probably win a title with backup center as well. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about two guys that solve like 90% of your needs. It's time for the Lakers to pull the trigger on Kessler and Collins trade. I would give up Rui, Gabe, Connect, pick 55 and 23. I'd give up whatever you had to. If I had to trade Reeves, I'd trade Reeves. If I give Kessler and Collins, I mean, Kessler, now you have your franchise center, literally. And John Collins solves like half the Lakers' needs. Gives you an athletic, legit two-way defender, sizable wing. Thoughts on this happening? LeBron takes a pay cut. Lakers sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker to start at the 2 alongside Luka. Then they trade Austin Reeves, Rui, Dalton Connect, first-round pick for Trey Murphy, Missy, and Bruce Brown. I guess if the Lakers take a discount, then yeah, they could stay under the first apron. The likelihood, so LeBron taking the discount and signing I actually think is something that potentially could happen. Him starting alongside the 2, probably not. Because I don't think that they'll trade Austin Reeves. I would love, I mean, if they could turn Austin Reeves, Rui, Dalton in a first round pick and a Trey Murphy, Missy, and Bruce Brown, I would be jumping for joy. I think that is probably unlikely if I'm being honest. Tyler, we at the Drip Show. Love all your videos. I will email you this week for business inquiries. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, seriously. Very, very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. Do you think Denver will trade either Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr.? I think Michael Porter Jr. is likely. Jamal Murray, I don't think that they will, although I think that they should. I think they need to kind of retool that roster around Jokic. Let's see. Can you make a video on Danny Wolf? I think he'll win Rookie of the Year this year. I mean, I would love to. The problem is I don't like, are the Lakers really going to trade up to go get him? Like, he's supposed to be like the 15th pick. I think if the Lakers are to make a trade, it's to probably go get Malich. If I can. There's just a lot to talk about right now. But if I can squeeze in a video, then sure, I'll talk about it. A girl can dream, right? Give me Kessler, Collins, man. Random question. But is your family as big as Laker fans as you are? Like, do you guys watch the games together, or is it just you into sports? It's mostly just me. Like, one of my sons like really likes soccer and hockey. He's like a big hockey guy, not really a big basketball or football guy. My girl, she'll watch games with me. Like she likes basketball, not really a big football person, but she likes basketball. But that's more so because like when we got together, I was a big basketball guy. So, and then obviously eventually fast forward, I end up starting YouTube channels and eventually start sports channels, and so she's even became more invested into it. She's not like as big of a fan as I am, but she's one, she's like, it pays the bills too. She's like, she's a fan. My daughters, yes, my daughters are kind of like that, but I mean they're like little, so they're it's kind of more just like I want to sit with dad more than like, yes, the Lakers are on and playing, right? Like, so I'd say it's kind of mixed, right? Mixed. And then I like my other son is like more into gaming than he is sports. He kind of care less about sports. And then my other daughter, she's more like cheerlead, like girly. So she's like girly girl, like, so she doesn't want anything to do with sports. Would you do 10th and Grayson Allen for AR, assuming Lakers trying to get Malik? No. I like if it was something like that, instead of Grayson Allen, I'd rather have Dylan Brooks, right? Like, because I just think he slots in better. You slot him in at the 2 or the 3 better, and he's just bigger, gives you what you need. I mean, I don't really like the trade regardless, even if that, but I'd rather have Dylan Brooks than Grayson Allen personally, if you were to do something like that. Which package would you accept if trading AR? Don't get me wrong, I love AR but I don't look good on Luka and AR backcourt defense. I don't want him being a 6-man either. Or what do you think, Tyler? I like Ospreys, right? I've talked about how I don't believe he's the superstar some people make him out to be, but I think he's a very good player, and I'd love to keep him on the team. I just as soon as you traded for Luka, AR became expendable. And I just think we have too many needs. If we were just like a center away, if we were a Clint Capella away or a Nick Claxton away from winning a championship, then it's like, keep Austin Reeves, go get Nick Claxton, let's win an NBA championship. But I don't think we're there. I think you need multiple pieces. And I think you need a guy that's a better fit. Now, the counter argument is like, Luka went to an NBA finals with Kyrie. One, Reeves isn't Kyrie, but that, lack of defense is kind of the point. And then went to a conference finals with Jalen Brunson, who Austin Reeves is better than that version of Jalen Brunson, right? That Jalen Brunson was not New York Jalen Brunson. So, I think that there's an argument for it. It's just, again, the Lakers would have to find like if you could get an Andrew Wiggins and like Nick Claxton, then yeah, I think you might be able to, because you might have enough versatility, athleticism, and switchability between LeBron, Claxton, and Wiggins to maybe mask that. But again, ideally, if you can get a better, just kind of natural fit, I think you should get a better natural fit. Watching the finals, switchability is key. So Claxton may be the way to go. Yeah, you're not wrong. Gabe and Vanderbilt for Dylan Brooks, I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, honest, like genuinely, I would do that in a heartbeat. I think we should go get Jaren Jackson Jr. I would too. So Grizzlies are trying to sign him to an extension. If he doesn't sign that extension, if I'm the Lakers, I am picking up the phone immediately. Lakers, Wiggins, Jovic, Claxton, Heat, Rui, Cam, Gabe, Nets, Vando, Connect, Duncan, Kleba. What you think? I don't think the Lakers would be able to get Jovic. They weren't willing to include him in the Kevin Durant trade. So I don't think that they put him in like a Rui trade. Granted, you could argue getting Rui, Cam, and Gabe, but I don't necessarily think they'd do that. If you basically took out Jovic, then I think that that's a possibility. Yeah, Wiggins, Claxton, Nets, Vando. I just don't know if the Nets would want to take on the long-term money of Vando and Duncan Robinson. That's the problem. Like, they've really valued the salary relief. Done farewell. Done warfare. Tyler. What's going on, Laker Nation? Yeah, probably not. I want the Jazz deal you talked about. I do too, very badly. very badly. Trade Osseries for Herb Jones, 2 first rounders, then trade Rui and Gabe for Kobe White, and I would do that in a heartbeat. I just don't think you'll be able to get Herb Jones and 2 first rounders. Maybe Herb and a first, but I don't even know if they'd give up a first. They'd probably want to just like swap it. Tyler Hero to Milwaukee Bucks for Damian Lillard, Kevin Porter Jr., 3 second-round picks. It will happen. I don't know why in the world. I think you just want Milwaukee to be good again. Do you think a trade AR plus Rui for Kessler Collins good for the Lakers, and will the Jazz agree to that? I don't think the Jazz would agree to it, but yes, if the Lakers could do that, I would do that in a heartbeat. Personally, I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't be happy that you traded AR for essentially Kessler, but I just think again he solves your biggest need, and now you have your franchise center, right? Like I've talked about, even if it is an overpay, right? Like let's say we all agree it's an overpay, right? The fact that you just got your franchise center, if you traded him for Clint Capella, or not Clint Capella, Nick Claxton, yeah, I'd be a little upset. But if you got him for Walker Kessler already is the best defensive center in the league behind Victor Wembanyama, and in many areas, is actually better than Victor Wembanyama. And he's young. So, yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. If you guys actually listen to what he's saying, it's facts, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Bro, updates. Nice, Tyler. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. I want Wiggins, Claxton, Brooke, Fultz. Yeah, I'm not against that at all. I've talked about Markelle Fultz, taking him on a flyer. Time to build the bully around Luka. I am not against that at all. I would like Walker Kessler and John Collins, but Nick Claxton and Cameron Johnson would be nice as well. Yeah, if you get either of them. That bomb comment. I prefer a trade for Daniel Gafford. He gives you most of what you need from Claxton, and he's 250 pounds. Dallas now has an overabundance of big men, so I expect Dallas to try to get off him. Yeah, but the problem is, supposedly, according to Jovan Buha, Lakers would have to like greatly overpay for Daniel Gafford. Obviously, if you can get him cheaper, then yeah, sure. Let's see. Will the Lakers buy a second round pick? I think it's very possible. I mean, Lakers have had a history of that. Tyler, you could take this recommendation, make the comment, just like 20 or 30%. So I have like no control over that. It didn't used to be that big. I know it's like huge now. Yeah, it's just like a StreamYard update. I have no, I don't, if you can control it, I have no idea how. Like I don't see anything to like shrink it or anything. It's just like how it brings it up now. I never used to do it like that big. And even like the way that the font and everything comes up, they've like completely changed it. I know it like takes up like some of the comments like take up the whole screen, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, like people know what I look like, right? Like people want to be able to see the comments or read the comments. So I actually don't think it's a bad thing personally. Might be a little different for people that are used to conversation, but depends on how much they type. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. What's a good backup point guard for the Lakers? I think there's a couple out there. I mean, in all honesty, you probably don't, especially if you're keeping Austin Reeves, you probably don't need like a point, like you probably don't need like a Chris Paul, right? You just need somebody that can essentially initiate, right? Malcolm Brogdon, I think would be good. Bruce Brown, I think could even fill in that spot if you needed him to. I think there's a couple guys that like, I want more of a defensive, like can initiate and defend, because you should always have a LeBron, Reeves, or Luka on the court at all times, and usually probably 2 of them on the court at all times. Apparently Triple J is not they might not have a choice, is my point. Like I made a video about Triple J and people are like, oh, they said that they're going to keep him and rebound. It's not up to them. He's going into a contract year. Like, what do? They risk losing him for nothing? Get me Walker Kessler, John Collins, and Miles Bridges from the Hornets. I'm all for Miles Bridges on the Hornets. Bruce Brown or Nah for the full mid-level exception. Go get Kessler and Collins. Ideally. Perfect world, yes. So is Luka just waiting until August 2nd? his tweet basically confirms he's here to stay for multiple chips. Yes. So he can't sign his extension until then. Once he's eligible, I imagine he signs it. Obviously, you never know, right? Like, and they'll get through the offseason. So, I mean, if the Lakers just kind of sit on their hands, maybe he kind of puts pressure. But does the KD trade affect the Lakers? I think the KD trade affects everybody in the West, right? In particular, because talk about the second best team who just got Kevin Durant. So absolutely, I think it affects the Lakers. Does this put more pressure on the Lakers to maybe look at it and go like, hey, we need to make some bigger splashes potentially? But I just definitely think just naturally it's something that definitely impacts basically again everybody in the Western Conference. PJ Washington would be a good fit. Yeah, I like PJ Washington. Danny Wolf, dude, that guy is. I mean, talk about one of the ready now guys. No, I'd stay away from Tibbs. I mean, you could argue defensively, he could put together some nice defensive schemes, but personally, do you think that Collins and Kessler could be like Chet and Hartenstein? I think that they have the potential to be better. Chet Holmgren, he wants to be more. I mean, he's probably the best player out of everybody, but he wants to be more perimeter oriented. He wants to be more, finesse than interior size. Where Collins can kind of give you both. Kessler, I would take over Hartenstein all day, every day. Is Jalen Green or Booker an option? Jalen Green might be. Devin Booker, I would be shocked. And even if he does become available, I just don't think, if we're being honest, I don't think the Lakers have the assets to go get Devin Booker. Tyler wants a hug. I miss being a Mavs fan. It's hard to see these Lakers takes. Nice new layout as it stands, Lakers. Tyler, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, to be honest, I have no control over it. It's just kind of the comments on screen, like that little, like almost like, what is it? I'm blanking on it. Like the comments that are displaying on screen, that scrolling through on the screen, that is like a new feature that you just turn on. So that I turn on, but like the big like comments popping up here, that is new. So yeah, I mean, it's cool seeing them kind of making these updates, making these changes and stuff. Like I said, I pay for the top tier because I stream so much. So how much does the new owner change the spending abilities? I mean, not really, right? Because you still have a cap, right? And you still have, the aprons and stuff. But what this does is it changes. And again, it's not something that I think is going to impact immediately. It's something that will really benefit the Lakers long term, particularly with the organization itself and just like getting the top doctors, getting the top training staff, getting the top equipment, all those things to just make our players better, our development department, our development team, getting like a pro scouting department, right? We don't even have one of those, right? And we have, for the draft and stuff, but not like, that's why the Lakers keep missing on guys in free agency. There's a lot of things that the Lakers just don't have that you'd be surprised that they don't have that now they will have. And then on top of that, you add in, the ability now to spend if need be. And also you don't have to worry about, like an Alex Caruso situation happening again. The Western Conference just got stronger. You got OKC, Denver, Minnesota, Houston just became contenders. The Western Conference is brutal. I mean, all those teams were already contenders, though. I mean, you're talking about literally 4 of the top 5 teams in the NBA last season. So I don't think that's changed. Is it just me, or I don't like Miles Turner as Lakers center? I thought he was somewhat dominant in the playoffs and the finals. But if I'm Indiana, I'm not giving him a big contract. I mean, he cost himself some money with that finals, I think. I still would love Miles Turner as the Lakers starting center. If you can get him, I still think you get him. But he's not really a Luka center. And I've talked about that before. Like, as soon as you got Luka, it was like, does Miles Turner even make sense anymore? Right? He is more of a LeBron center. He made sense when you had Anthony Davis and LeBron. He made all the sense in the world, right? Because his ability to stretch the floor. So Anthony Davis could still operate where he likes to operate. LeBron could still put his head down and get to the basket. So all of those things. But I said I wasn't going to go an hour, and now I'm 10 minutes from an hour. So I'm going to go 10 more minutes, and I'm going to skate on out here because, like I said, I was doing a live stream on another channel earlier, on my my sports channel after the final. So I'm tired. I'm ready to. My tush is hurting from sitting for so long. In my opinion, the single most important offseason move for the Lakers to make now isn't getting a center or a wing. It's poaching Sam Presti to be the new basketball. But I don't see that. They could probably throw a ton of money at him, and I just don't think he'd leave OKC. He's had opportunities. They just won a championship. I don't think he's going to leave. I think if anything, he's going to try to win another one. We have so many bad players on bad contracts. It sucks. Talk about the Lakers, because I know you talked about Dallas earlier. Lakers don't really have any bad contracts. Lakers actually have like some of the best contracts in the league now because they're all expiring. And no one's really overpaid. I mean, they're all like $11 million guys. Right? The only ones that are really paid are LeBron and Luka. And then even Austin Reeves is on a really good contract. Is worth a big contract. If I'm Indiana, I'm definitely paying. If you're Indiana, you almost don't have a choice. You can't really replace him. I'm so excited for the draft. I can't wait. I want to be excited for free agency and stuff, but you never know with Rob. After last year, I'm still worried he does nothing. Show Luka Rob. Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Then trade AR straight up for Herb Jones. Trade Gabe Rui Connect for Kobe White and Io. I would not be against that. Let's see. The rebuilding of the team to suit Luka is probably going to take 2. Yeah, I mean, everything takes time. It really does. Good centers are hard to get right now. Not a lot of them out there yet, which is why I agree. I think if you're Indiana, you almost have to pay him. Zimmer Nod and sign Capella has the upside and won't get played off the floor. I think he will do a 3-year deal with a player option in the 3rd year. I'll then sign a 5-year deal after that. You don't know until he signs it. Well, yeah, I mean, there's always one of those things, right? It's always one of those things where there's always a chance, right? Until it's actually finalized. But yes, more likely than not, that's exactly what will happen. He'll sign a 3-year deal with a player option the last year. He'll opt out, and then he'll sign a new contract because once he enters his 10th season into the league, he just gets a much larger percentage of the cap. I would give up whatever it took to get Dyson Daniels. Literally, he's already arguably the best perimeter player or defender in all of basketball, and he's like 22 years old. Right? Like, he might end up being the best 3-and-D guy in the league in like 2 years. He's already elite defensively and is literally everything the Lakers. Dude, he almost had a historic season in steals. Like, that guy you slot him next to Luka, and good luck. I would give up I would trade AR in a first to get Dyson Daniels. I know a lot of people might disagree. It might be a great overpay. I don't care. He's 22 years old and already doing like all-time great things defensively. This channel is always fun to listen to, man. That's the reason I say I could easily not watch, but I like it here. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad people like it here. In a heartbeat, personally, I'd give Reeves and a first extension. Oh, thank you. I literally just said the same thing. So, okay, at least there's somebody else that doesn't think I'm crazy when I just said that, because I would essentially trade whatever I have to, in order to do that. Lakers should trade LeBron to the Mavericks for Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington, Klay Thompson, Caleb Martin, and some seconds. It's basically turned Lakers into Dallas. Did you? But I understand. Right, Tyler. That's what I'm saying. How can we have the worst contracts? I mean, Rui is overpaid, but mostly expiring. I mean, given Rui's production, how good he is, I mean, he's basically at his value. I mean, you can make an argument he's underpaid. Oh, really? Where does that dude pay? You talk about Dyson Daniels. He plays for Atlanta. He was traded in the DeJounte Murray trade. Tony to the Lakers. Trade AR for who? Einstein? I don't see a young Kyrie Irving available. Austin get better every year. Glad you don't own the Lakers. Sure. I'm low-key scared about this offseason. if we can't get enough talent, LeBron might be gone as soon as next season. I mean, LeBron might be gone as soon as next season, regardless. I just don't think you can make decisions based on LeBron anymore. As look, LeBron is still incredible. He's still a top 10 player in the league. Luckily, the things that you need for LeBron, most of them you need for Luka, right? Because they're so similar players. The only thing that's different is really the center position. LeBron likes kind of more of a floor spacing big, where Luka likes more of that paint clogging big, right? Outside of that, it's essentially the same thing. Oh, I got to the end of the chat. Perfect. If you did, you trade him away for 2 Happy Meals plus 1 shiny stone. If you don't know who Dyson Daniels is, that's fine. Just say I don't know who Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels and Akagu, yeah, if you could pull that off, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Cool. I got to the end of the chat. Perfect. I'm gonna get out of here, everyone. Got to the end of the chat. Everyone hung out with me. Seriously, I greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. We'll definitely do some more live streams. I need to get a schedule in place now that we're officially in the off season. So I'll try to get a schedule. Oh, also, I turned on the community tab on all of my channels, so you guys can post now on the community tab on this channel and all my other sports channels. So you can have conversation stuff there. I don't know if I haven't really checked it out yet, so I don't know if I can respond and stuff, but just like another way to interact with people in the community and stuff like that. It's a new feature that YouTube has rolled out. I've had it for a while. I just keep forgetting to turn it on. And I finally turned it on today. So sorry about that. But anyway, on your way out, please hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. Everyone that gave me super chats, seriously, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Helps me out a ton. Yeah, I will see you guys soon in the next one.